This is Snowman in the Morning, where true sports talk lives.
That's
Excellent.
what?
Rolling along here on this Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you with us, even though we've had some technical difficulties. Game 3 of the World Series is tonight. And I put up the wrong graphic. I'm sorry. Game 3 of the World Series is tonight. Houston at Washington. Ratings. This is going to be some great baseball. It's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. That's the call. You got the Nationals radio with Dave Jackler and Charlie Slows on the call. And I'm not even going to play the intro. I'm just going to say welcome to Michael Lyle on this Friday morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Let's just get right to it, Mr. Snowman. How's it going on this fabulous Friday?
It is indeed a fabulous. The Washington Nationals are halfway home to a world championship. Let that
First
sink
World
in.
Series in 86 years is going to be played in our nation's capital tonight. Can you believe it?
It's going to be a madhouse in Washington, D.C. It's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah, that city's been rolling since, let's see, we had the success of the Mystics recently.
Yep.
Hashtag. But then now we have the Nationals, who are now 2 wins away. They can finish it off this weekend with 3 more games.
Yeah.
At least 2 at max.
3 shots to finish off the Houston Astros. I take my hat off to both teams. You know what's been thrown at me that kind of gets on my nerve? Everybody wants to talk about the ratings, and people aren't watching this because the Yankees aren't in it. Boo-hoo! The best teams are playing in the World Championship right now, period.
Thank you. I mean, that's what makes it such an entertaining World Series because, for one, I don't even think the Houston Astros and their fans thought this was going to be possible, that they're going to be down 2-0 early in this series.
Right.
First of all, you had your ace out there in Game 2 who kept the Nationals offense in check, and then after he left, as we mentioned off the air, the floodgates opened and the Nats offense got rolling, and they just never stopped.
No, they don't. Kudos to them. Like I said, I've been a Nats fan for a while. I'm glad to see them and the Astros playing in the World Series. But let's go back to this narrative that started circulating the moment the Astros clinched the American League. If you want to say it, let's go back a little further than that. The moment the Nationals clinched the National League pennant, that it was not going to be a well-watched World Series because there's not a big market team in it. Who cares? The 2 best teams are in the World Series, and then proving why they belong in the World Series, period.
Well, the Nationals are a major market team. They're the number 8 market in the country in D.C. Astros are a smaller market team than the Nats, but still, you're talking about a roster, 2 teams with great rosters, a great pitching staff. Both teams boast great offenses, but as we've seen in this series, it's only been about the pitching, and then the offense came to life. Who would have thought the Nationals were going to score that many runs on Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming, but the Nationals have – if they finish it off, I will tell everybody this right now, and I'm telling you, if they finish it off this weekend, I'm going to find every Charlie Slows and Dave clip I can lay my hands on throughout this playoff run, and it's going in the intro.
You'll have a lot of work to do to find every clipping from this team, but they've been there for 14 years, so I'm sure there's a lot of good old Charlie Slows clips you can dig up over those years. There's a lot of memorable moments. I'm sure the most memorable moment will be Game 4 if they're up 3-0, and then they record the final out to win it all. That will probably be the best clip you can find ever of Charlie Slows.
Yep, and
unless it's him or Dave Jackler, one of those 2.
Well,
somebody's gonna have the final call on that. I don't know if it might be Charlie because he usually does the 9th inning.
Yeah,
we'll see if it's him or Dave.
Well, I have Dave Jackler's call of Howie Kendrick's slam. I've played that quite a few times.
Ugh. Can you imagine that this all started with the work they did? This all started in the NL wildcard game. The Nats they were down 3-1. They were staring at their season being over, and one botched defensive play by the Brewers opened things up for the Nats, and they have not looked back ever since. It's amazing how one play can turn around.
And who got that hit? Juan Soto.
Yep. Probably your MVP right now. If they win it all, he would be the MVP. Yeah.
2 hits saved the Nationals postseason. The hit by Juan Soto in the wild card game and in Game 5. Those 2 hits.
My friend,
saved the Nationals postseason, and after that slam in Game 5 when they closed out the Dodgers, they haven't stopped.
And they went on to sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. Who saw that one coming? Everybody thought the Cardinals were giving them a hard time, but boy, did they prove everybody wrong. And what's so funny about this run? They're getting a lot of bandwagon jumpers over the course of this run because nobody gave this team any chance, and to get this far.
None.
They were get in there. Remember, they snuck in there at the last second as a wild card member.
They did, and they took care of Milwaukee. They beat the Dodgers in 5 games, and now they're halfway home to winning a world championship. And this after a sweep of the Cardinals. And
if they win tonight, it's over.
It's done. It's done. And on 2 occasions against the Cardinals, I've never seen this done. On 2 occasions in the postseason, both pitchers flirted with a no-hitter. Anibal Sanchez and then Max Scherzer.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Pitching has done a lot for the Nats in this postseason run.
And what have we talked about? We've talked about pitching.
And guess what? The Astros have come to an empty ballpark where there is no DH.
Yeah.
But guess what, Astros? The pitchers better be ready to hit some balls.
They better be ready to hit. They better be ready to hit. Game 3 tonight. Game 3 tonight in Washington, D.C., and it's going to be a madhouse. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a madhouse. Speaking of madhouse.
Rolling.
Yeah. Speaking of madhouse, I asked this question to previous guests this week. There is no more, I'll put it in the statement and I'll give you the floor. There's no more sizzle with the NBA like it was. None.
Mm-mm. I have to say that, but I'm feeling the same way right now, Brian. I didn't even get so giddy about the opening week at all. In fact,
nor did I.
My attention was more on the Nationals this week than it was the NBA.
Thank you.
Go figure that. I'm more concerned about the Nationals because I think that was more entertaining to watch than the NBA opening week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give you this much. I did stay up to watch the Clippers and Lakers game on Tuesday night. I did on Wednesday night, I believe. I did watch that game because it was a little bit of an entertaining finish, and you just want to see how this whole Kawhi Leonard Clipper rivalry with LeBron in LA was going to go. And clearly, the Clippers have the upper hand, even though LeBron played and Anthony Davis was out there. Didn't matter. They lost. But I still didn't get a positive vibe about the start of the season. I just didn't feel like it didn't give me an adrenaline rush. Like normally when we get the NBA started, we feel like, oh, right, we cannot wait. Basketball is back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sadly, I didn't feel that way this week. I don't know why, but I just don't think the NBA is giving me that kind of a flavor anymore.
It's bad for me, as long as I've covered the NBA, to not have that excitement for opening week. And have you noticed opening week is getting earlier and earlier and earlier in the fall?
Right. They're breaking tradition. It used to be late in the fall. Now they're doing it really early.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tradition's been tainted with this league. I don't like it.
It has. It has. It's been tainted by several things. They're trying so hard. The NBA is trying so hard to paint the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, God help us, as the face.
I knew that was going to stir the pot a little bit. I kind of figured I was waiting for that reaction. Go ahead. Every time you hear that word, you cringe. I know.
You know how I feel. You know how I feel. A lot of my friends know how I feel. This ain't right. But the NBA is continuing to push this team doesn't belong to a place where they haven't earned. And I don't think they're going to.
I don't think so either. And I understand they want to have a nice little ratings bonanza here with those 2 LA teams going at it, which I'm pretty sure they probably got some ratings for that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But unless they're doing anything compelling where we see either LeBron or Kawhi taking one of those LA teams to the promised land, I don't even know what the NBA is going to look like this year alone. I mean, a lot of players have changed teams.
Yep.
It's not the same rivalries anymore because like I just said, the players have changed teams. Kevin Durant's out in Brooklyn, but he didn't play. And I even tweeted this out the other night. Kyrie Irving scored points in the opener.
Mm-hmm.
But I also tweeted, still not enough. He scored 50 points.
I caught that.
You lost by 1.
I
Doesn't
caught
matter.
That.
It's a little stat to have your opening night be marked by 50 points. But unfortunately, you're playing for the W. The next thing is the W.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, if there was a Kevin Durant, KD was out there, we're probably looking at a different story. I don't even know if he scores 50 points.
I don't think so. I don't think he scores 50.
Gotta share the ball, number one, if you're going to get Kevin Durant involved. You can't just take it for yourself.
Right.
And number two, you got to score and threaten Durant that can make plays. So put him out there. The Nets are probably 1-0 right now and not 0-1.
And it's like, I know it's been a few years since the move happened, but I don't like seeing the NBA without the Seattle Supersonics.
Huh.
It don't look right.
You don't. Again, you just said it. This is the reason why I'm not feeling the NBA these days. These have changed. A lot of players have changed. It's not the same feeling anymore, Brian. You know what I'm looking forward to? College basketball, baby. I'm looking forward to the start of college season.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody that as much as a basketball fan as I am, I get more giddy for March Madness than I get NBA Finals now. I love March. March is like the Super Bowl to me.
March is like the wrap-up of my basketball season.
Yeah,
as a broadcaster and as a fan.
Right.
March of my season.
And you have all those small teams, the small schools that can beat the big schools, those compelling storylines. I'll watch those pregame shows like to the core and listen to them on the radio.
Yep.
Because to me, that's what gets me excited. I want to see somebody to knock off the big schools. I want to see one of the 16 seeds knock off a juggernaut and say, hey, we can play with you guys too. That's what makes March Madness so fun to me. And that's why I always be a college basketball fan.
Same here.
Before the NBA.
Same here. Absolutely same here. Mike Lyle joining me for the Lyle Files this morning. It's not the same with the NBA. It hasn't been for a long time, even though teams like the Spurs have emerged and the Warriors and the Clippers this year. Okay, let's go ahead and call a spade a spade. Same kind of performance that you get in college basketball. And I saw my first hints of this season when I saw highlights of the Kansas Jayhawks playing against Fort Hays State, and that got my juices flowing this morning when I was watching those highlights. And folks of Arena Sports Net, pay attention. We're going to put a college basketball show together, and so it'll be on once a week. I'll have some different guests on, but we're going to do a college basketball show on Arena Sports Net and on a couple of other networks. I look forward, as you said, my friend, to college basketball than I do the NBA now. There's just not enough interest. There isn't.
And the thing with that, you have more compelling storylines in the college game than you do the NBA these days.
Absolutely.
Because the NBA is dominated by LeBron and Kawhi now. That's the new storyline out there in the West Coast. They want to watch Lakers and Clippers go at it. Out in the East, you got the Celtics and a whole bunch of other teams that are vying for spots out there. But right now, the focus on the NBA, LeBron, Kawhi, LA, that's what they want.
Yep.
I mean, even this little nugget for you, even Charles Barkley, I don't know if you saw this clip on social media, he even told Klay Thompson, just get over it.
Yep.
The Warriors championship window is, I quote, shut. And that he even said, this is Charles Barkley, Sir Charles said this, you can look this up. He said to Klay Thompson, the Warriors will not, I repeat, will not make the postseason this year. And you know what? Charles Barkley might be right.
He just might
because with Klay Thompson on the shelf for the season, you lost one of your best players in Kevin Durant. You still got Steph Curry out there. You still got Draymond. But that's all you have right now. And you have a loaded West Coast conference, our Western Conference. It's going to be a lot harder now for the Warriors to make a run at the finals this year.
And
without Klay, that took a hit.
Yeah, and a Warrior fan is admitting this. The Clippers have proven me wrong, you know, and I love that. The Lakers are proving me right, and I love that. But I heard that little Freudian slip. West Coast Conference, you think it's March again.
See, I'm already thinking basketball. I'm already thinking college. See, I'm trying not to talk NBA and college at the same time, but you see the West Coast Conference. You know, I'm thinking of Gonzaga right now. But my mindset is, you see where I'm going with this?
The West Coast Conference, the MAC, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, Pac-10, Big East,
SEC,
man.
all those schools. See, you got me already all excited for the start of the season.
You're excited, man. The best.
I'm bringing some popcorn for the show because I see the top 10 already released, and Michigan State's the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah.
The polls are already out.
I've seen that too. We're going to bring in our college basketball talk beginning next week here on the show. But for those of you that love college basketball as much as Mike and I do, pay attention. We're going to talk a lot of it this year. A lot. And now that I have relocated from Indiana to North Carolina, I'm right in the middle of ACC country.
Oh
So I'm
boy.
going to
So I
be.
guess we're gonna. So your first game is gonna be Carolina, right? I would think that would be your christening to that region is to go see a
well,
Carolina game.
well, I'm working on getting some credits to cover
You
those
say.
schools. I'm working on some credits to cover those schools, but you got Winston-Salem State in the nearby region. You got North Carolina Central that's up the road in Durham from me. Wake Forest, North Carolina State. To say the least, if all goes well, I'm going to be quite busy.
And I know you're going to be out and about through Carolina doing all those games. It's not just Duke Carolina. You got South Carolina down there. You
Yep.
got Clem. You got a whole bunch of stuff around you, man.
I told you.
You got the golden ticket to all that down there.
I told
I'm coming
you.
down there with you.
I'm in the heart.
I'm gonna shack up with you down there.
I'm in the heart of ACC country, man.
Oh,
I'm in the heart of country.
And I believe this year the first round of March Madness is going to be in Greensboro.
Greensboro Coliseum.
Okay, you know what that means? I got to make a road trip down there next month or in the spring sometime.
You better, because I'm going to put in my credentials to cover that. Greensboro's but an hour away from me.
Hold on, I want to piece of this too.
I know.
You just get to have all the fun. I'm coming down there too.
Listen,
I'll come down there if I have to. If I have to
I'm
drive
gonna
down
work.
there myself.
I'm gonna work it so we can the first and second round in Greensboro. Okay.
First taste of that last year up here in Hartford. That was a treat. Now let's go south.
Was that not fun? Covering up there in Hartford.
Friend, that was an amazing experience that I was here last year in Hartford here at the XL Center. I mean, that's. I like about the NCAA, they're breaking tradition a little bit. They're not going to those big name arenas like they used to.
No, they're not.
Spreading the love a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because Connecticut, as you know, is a basketball state because of UConn's success.
Mm-hmm.
So it's natural that they would want to have the tournament here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big boost for the economy here in Hartford. So
yeah, I believe it.
It was like, wow, like this is really happening. Like March Madness is right here in Hartford, Connecticut. Well, we're right at the center of all the craziness that goes on in that month. And let me tell you, this arena was packed for those 2 days.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
Not one empty seat in that arena.
And that's
great.
As
old as that building is, it was packed to the core.
The first taste of the ACC tournament I got was 1995. And I lived in Greensboro at the time. You want to talk about 23,000 people every night for the tournament? Yikes.
You know why? Because that's a religion down there for them.
Yep, it is.
College basketball is like as big as college football down there. That's a religion. That's sacred ground down there. They'll get up for that before even the pro ranks. See,
they will.
The correlations we're making right now, correlations that the pro ranks are secondary to the.
And they are.
Trust me when I tell you, you will find that even though there's 2 pro teams in Carolina, they are going to be playing second fiddle to the ACC and the rest of those leagues down there.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Yep. And it's going to be fun to watch.
Wow.
Folks, arenasportsnet.com is getting reloaded with more coverage of the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and others. We're going to relaunch our site on November 5th, and we got a lot of stuff that we're going to load for you. We're working on getting creds for North Carolina Central, North Carolina State, University of North Carolina, Winston-Salem State. Everything that you can find about North and South Carolina, we're going to put it on Arena Sportsnet Carolina and our national site. November 5th is the relaunch of not only the Arena Sportsnet brand site, but also the Snowman Unfiltered brand site. Got to add a few things to that, too. Stay tuned, folks. Lyle joining me as he does every week, talking Files. And, folks, we hope you enjoyed this one. College basketball is a couple steps around the corner. Thanks for coming on, my man. Appreciate it.
Hey, my man. Thank you as always. And let's see what happens tonight with Game 3 of the Nationals. I think it's over now, but if they win tonight, you can put this one in the books. And by the time we next time speak, the Nationals will be celebrating a World Series
championship. There'll be a World Championship Curly W in the books, to borrow from Charlie Slows.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the time.
Man, as always.
That's going to wrap it up for this Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning, coming to you live from McDonald, North Carolina. We thank you for joining us. As always, want to say unto y'all, have a great weekend, okay? Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. I am, and I hope y'all are too. Until Monday for another jam-packed show, Snowman out.